Hi, my name is Martha Coakley. I serve as Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and I'm a candidate for the United States Senate. I've entered this race because I feel very strongly that our government, both at the state and the federal level, has to work well, and it has to work for everybody. And that particularly means that the working men and women of Massachusetts and this country deserve the best representation in the seat that was formerly held by Senator Ted Kennedy. We will miss his work across the boards, but I know particularly for issues that are at the heart of what working men and women care about, we can't replace him. And the voters are going to have to find someone to try and follow in his footsteps at least. But on issues relating to leveling the playing field, whether it's Employee Free Choice Act, on making sure stimulus money comes to Massachusetts to get us working again and on the way back to an economic recovery, and making sure that we look at our free trade agreements and we understand that government should be helping unions get the economy back on track and looking out for individual members. I believe that we are going to need to extend benefits for the unemployed because we're slower coming out of this recession than we had hoped. And I believe there are so many issues, not just legislative, but working with unions here in Massachusetts, working with particularly your union. It is really important that there be somebody willing to pitch in, tackle the tough problems, and work across the aisle if necessary, and otherwise to get things done. I've done that as Attorney General. I've worked on employee misclassification issues, on enforcement issues, on bid issues, and I understand that when we do our job in government, when union members get a fair shake, fair businesses who play by the rules also appreciate it, and it's good for workers, it's good for the economy, and it's how we're going to have to get out of this recession. So I look forward to working with you on all of those issues. You know, there's no federal standard right now for misclassification, and it's technically not illegal. The ways in which on the federal level it's been approached is through tax issues, because obviously the federal government doesn't want to miss out on tax advantages or tax revenues. In Massachusetts, we have very good laws, and one of the issues always was around how would businesses know, or how do we know how that classification works. We undertook to work not just with those interested in the issue from the union side, but brought in the businesses and the companies and said, we need clarification on this, we need predictability, which you would agree with. You know, tell us what you want, tell us what you think this should look like. And much to our surprise, frankly, and to our delight, we came out with a three-part test that is clear, that's fair, that implements the statute, that will now let businesses know when they have to treat someone as an employee. I think they were happy to have that predictable so that they can plan, and I think it's done a long way in Massachusetts to protect workers. I think that's the kind of solution we need on the federal level, to say, let's get businesses at the table and say, wouldn't you rather have this, instead of getting involved in complaints and litigation, let's be clear and let's let you know how you do this in a way that protects workers and protects their rights. That's the spirit of the law, and by the way, government and businesses who play by the law will benefit from that clarification. As we've taken the lead on so many things here in Massachusetts, we're ahead on healthcare, we're ahead on much of this enforcement, we're ahead. Other attorneys general asked me about some of our work we've done with carriers, for instance. We are on the cutting edge on those issues, and particularly for unions, we've got some policies that work here. Misclassification, huge issue. I think we can bring some solutions to Washington.